Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad. It's Black Thor, Ice Water, and Puma. Starting out the show with a special shout out to the number one seed Northwestern Wildcats women's lacrosse team, Johanna Kingsfield, number 21, a daughter of my guy, Ray Kingsfield, and the proud parents, Ray and Christina. If they win tonight, they will be in the Final Four again this year. They were in the Final Four last year. I want to send shouts out to Johanna Kingsfield and the Wildcats. And, you know, as we say up here, go Cats. All right. We're going to go to the NBA. And, of course, I told these guys a couple of weeks ago, we've been on hiatus for a couple of weeks, that I just can't take the NBA anymore. So I'm going to get the eye test of what we missed last week and the Eastern and Western Conference Final. We're going to the Western Conference Final. Ice, what are your thoughts about the game last night?
I mean, it's probably like par for the course. I think that Denver is really trying to show that they belong and they're worthwhile. We've been talking about it for a long time. We've been waiting on them a long time, and they stepped up at home court. And they did the one thing they needed to do was you had the supporting cast stepped up, and that's what they needed to do. I mean, you know what the Joker's going to do. Joker's going to do. You also expect Murray to do certain things, but some of the other guys, like you had, Green shooting threes and Brown doing some things. So they had a lot of support, and along with Porter, and whatnot, and Gordon. They just need. That's what they need all throughout this series. Because I said before, 1 and 2 guys are not going to beat the Lakers. Lakers not probably the best team, but they at least have a little chemistry. But I will be interested to see what happens when they take that show on the road. Can they still do the same thing? Because now it's great to win the first game at home and the Lakers try to come back on them. But then you say to yourself, can they still hold that on? Can they still be consistent like that throughout the series? And that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Black, I was reading some things earlier today about how to stop the Joker, and they're talking about bringing Thompson off the bench to try to stop the Joker. I think one of the guys on ESPN talked about that, and I'm like, the guy hadn't played all year. They just picked him up for the playoffs, and, if AD can't handle him, there ain't no big man on the Lakers team, in my opinion, that can handle the Joker.
I don't think there's a man in the league that can handle the Joker, man, to be honest with you. I really don't. But I'm going to give a different side, man. I thought the Lakers battled back, had a good chance to steal that game, a very good chance to steal that game in the last couple of minutes. And I think for them, they shouldn't hold their heads down, bro. They kind of battled back. They took the shot from Denver, and they came back, man. That team came back. They kept their poise. So to me, I don't know if the Lakers need to bring anyone on. I mean, Joker's going to get there. He's going to get his. Like Ice was saying, some of the role players, if you kind of calm them down. Murray's playing good too. But if you kind of calm some of the role players down, they could be in this series. They could really be in this series. And I have to tip my hat to AD. Even though he couldn't defend Joker, he scored a lot. He was in the game. He did his thing. So I think the Lakers for game one, compared to when they were like at halftime, the way the second half went, they show they can battle. They're going to be on the same floor with them. So I wouldn't be surprised this series is closer. Going in, I thought maybe they won like one game. I would give the Lakers one game. But I would be surprised, man, this series goes 6 or 7. And I think Denver may win in the end. But one thing I saw with the Nuggets last night, too, when the Lakers started making their move, 2 things I thought I saw happen to them. They got fatigue, or they was kind of like thinking, sometimes when things happen a lot to you, and you start to think, okay, here it goes again, and you fall back in it. And I think Denver, in their mind, they're battling, okay, we've been here before, but we haven't gotten over the hump. And I think for a while out there in the fourth quarter, they were thinking, you know what, maybe we're not that good. Maybe we can't, get to the finals. And I think for a while that was running through their heads, and they kind of got out of it. But I think it's still there. So with that being said, man, I would not be surprised to see the Lakers take game 2 or make this a series.
All right, I'm sticking with you on this one. What are your expectations from the Eastern Conference Finals?
Eastern Conference is a joke, bro. Let's just get honest. Let's just get honest. We saw 2 teams outside of Buffalo. Boston in the Eastern Conference. We thought maybe had a shot. Milwaukee, are you kidding me? You saw what happened to them. Then, was thinking of the possibility, Philadelphia. So I can't be excited watching the Miami Heat play the Boston Celtics, bro. There's no excitement in it. There's no lift. To me, you can put that game on tape delay. I'll check out in the morning who won by the score. There's no excitement, bro. Miami should not be there. Let's just get real. I mean, they basically played a team that didn't really want it for the most part. Milwaukee early on. Then they played a one-man team and they played the Knicks. So let's get real, man. I'm not excited about Milwaukee. To me, I look at Boston, and Boston has to grow up. Boston picks and choose. Their players kind of picks and choose kind of when they want to go out there. And I saw this with this coach. He allows them to basically lag at times, and he don't kick him in the ass. Now, last year, that head coach, he kicked him in the ass, bro. When they needed to be kicked, they went out there, they played hard. Now they have these moments or have these games where they're just like, you know what? We kind of nail it in. And he allows it. For whatever reason, that's what I see. He allows it. But Boston will win this easy, bro. Then Miami has nothing. Jimmy Butler, give him one game, he might score 100. Outside of that, bro, there's no juice to me in this series, bro. And I could be wrong, but I have no excitement. I'll be like you, man. I may never watch this one. I have no excitement. And I'll say this to you, bro. I know you love the March Madness. You almost won this year. Kudos to you. Man, you've been some good basketball, bro. You got to get off that high horse about the NBA and start watching some of it. You've been some good basketball.
I can no longer watch LeBron James dance his way and travel through the lane, and they don't call travel. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it.
I'm gonna tell you something. You're right about the travel, but I will say this, man. You know, I was having a conversation with a gentleman over the weekend, and we're saying some different things. I said, you know, being that I grew up being a Knicks fan, I remember Michael Jordan. You know, I couldn't.
Yeah, same thing. Yep.
But even though I wanted Michael Jordan to lose, I had to respect what he was doing, and I bring the same kind of sentiment towards LeBron. At his age, bro, to see him out, and he made a mistake towards the end of the game last year. I knew you were going to talk about because, you know, things happen. And I shouldn't say mistake if the ball got stolen from him. And I think he looked up and saw Joker there, too. He wanted that smoke. So he got twice at the end of the game. I really want to take him to do this. But if you look at his age, bro, and watch the way he's playing on the floor and the way he's handling things, he deserved to be commended, man. He deserved to be commended. I'm not going to take that away from him. I'm not, bro. Is he what he was maybe 10 years ago? Probably not. But to be what he is right now, to be out there and have that team on the verge of going to the finals, man, I got to tip my hat to him, bro. I really do.
Yeah. Now, I didn't catch you last week because we didn't have a show. But the return of Mongo Slade, I want you to talk about it because he got you. He got us all. He got you.
Bro, I could, after watching him in game one of that series against Boston, step out and play what he did, I'm like, okay. You know, James Harden realized maybe he's thinking this. You know, here's my chance. It might be win a championship. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do what I got to do. And, you know, I'm going to help out. And then game 6 and 7. I'm not even going to talk about it. 6 and 7. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard this. I think it was yesterday. He literally asked, I don't know, was it before game 6 or before game 7? He wanted to go party in Las Vegas.
Wow.
And asked Doc Rivers, can he take his private jet and go? Now, did he go? Doc told him, sure. Did he go or not? I'm like, what the?
Wow.
Man, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. And you look at game 6 and 7, he was out there playing like it was preseason. And even Embiid, say what you want, he's another one. Did he really got to stand up when they needed him to? Some games, yes. But, bro, there's more to just being MVP of the league. That's a nice banner. Talk to Westbrook. Talk to James Harden. They all want it. They ain't got nothing else to show. So, yeah, bro, you're right. Mongo Slade is Mongo Slade. He always will be Mongo Slade. And this is what he doesn't. But I'll give him credit. He had me on the ropes because where he played in game 1, I thought if he could have played that the whole series, if he could have did that in game 6, Philly would be playing the Heat right now.
I see Ice over there laughing. Eastern Conference Final. My thing was, Embiid just wanted MVP. He's not talking championships. He wants MVP. He wants Defensive Player of the Year. Ice, Eastern Conference.
Yeah, let's start right there with the great James Harden. Man, look, I told you after I got off him, that whole Brooklyn fiasco, and then when he went on, I was like, you know, I said, nah, I'm not going to jump on this wagon anymore. I don't care how many points he scored. But the one thing that really got me, so you're in game 6, okay, you close it out. Then you go to game 7. This is a guy that scores a lot of points, known for being a scorer. They have traded to bring other people in to help him so he can be the franchise guy. I know he was playing second fiddle to Embiid, but down the stretch in the third quarter, he wouldn't shoot the ball. That's what they need you to do. They need you. You've been on this level. We need you to score. He's passed the ball off to other guys. And I know the Maxis of the world, they can hit a few shots. But it's like, dude, we need you now to step up in this time. And he's kicking it out. I'm like, wait, what you doing? And Embiid started, it became, intoxicating. I guess he got, he caught the bug too, because he started getting mad, started chopping on people and getting mad and everything because he was losing. And I was like, wow, I'm watching this. And when I watched it, right then and there, I was like, Doc Rivers is going to get fired. He going. This is unacceptable. You bringing this guy in and Morey, the general manager, you had to go back and get your boy James Harden. You had to have him, and you got him. And this is what he does. And to watch that, and I literally thought, regardless of the fact, I thought they were going to beat Boston, particularly in Game 7. Because Boston didn't seem like that. I was saying to myself, I need to see who's going to step up for Boston. I kept waiting, and I saw Tatum kind of half playing, and the 76ers were hanging in there. And then when Brown got hit in the face by Harden, when he had his mask off, and everybody was kind of going crazy, it's like they woke him up. Brown got mad. He didn't have the mask on anymore. He wanted to start dunking on folks. Everything just picked up. And I think Blackthorn's right about the coach. Last year, the coach would have been able to push them along and say, all right, let's turn it on, guys. Let's go. This coach is, maybe because he's inexperienced, maybe that's not his character. He didn't do that. But instead, it was the players, because when they start getting Philadelphia started getting really physical with them, the players kind of turned it on. They started seeing what they could do, and they did it. But I thought Boston was going to lose. But then again, it just shows you what Harden's like. Okay, here we go in that situation. And Miami, I mean, you say what you want to, man. All I know is I know Embiid sure the hell wish he would have kept his mouth shut and Jimmy Butler would stay in Philadelphia. That's all I know. That's all I know. So you can throw him down, you can talk about him, tell me he ain't no leader, whatever, but the man shows up and he ends up in the conference finals. That's all I know. Are they going to win this? I don't know. Probably not. But if you say every year, whatever, no matter what, we're going to be in the conference finals, I would take that. At least we got a shot. You never know what's going to happen. But he rises to the occasion. You beat Milwaukee, then you come up and you win this other one. And now you're sitting up with Boston. And who knows? I mean, Boston should win. But like I said, I thought Boston was going to run through Philadelphia. And Philadelphia was this close. If James Harden would have shot the ball a little bit more, besides the one game where he had 40, they might have had a chance to win. So I'll put nothing past Miami if Boston shows up. If Boston don't show up, you be looking at Jimmy Butler again talking about, how the hell did he get back in the point? Because that's how it is.
Okay, coming from the conspiracy theorist right here, I think it's going to be Boston and LA, because they want Boston and LA, the biggest markets, because ain't nobody watching Miami and Denver. Nobody even likes Denver being in the position that they're in. But I think in all seriousness, if Boston loses, it's going to be because they got out-coached. Because this coach has shown me, before I stopped watching the playoffs, this coach has shown me that his inexperience cost him a couple of games in that Philly series, of just not being able to make the right moves, make the right decisions at the right time. And Udoka did. I mean, he had that pedigree. He knew which buttons to press and when to press it with his team. And I just saw, even before the Philly series, this Boston coach sometimes can get out coached. And you got Pat Riley in the background with Miami. They can come up with a scheme to beat Boston if they really wanted to. And even though I think Boston's a better team, I think that between those two coaches, they can come up with a scheme to put Boston on the bus back to Boston and win this series. Black?
I'm gonna go somewhere against your theory with Boston and LA being in the series. And that may have worked 10, 15 years ago, what you was thinking. I'm gonna give you a different side. I think the NBA quietly may want more so than that. Djokovic on the main stage, bro. And he's right now, to me, the best player in the NBA without even a thought, in my opinion. All around player. He's a throwback. He's a modern day player. He does everything well. He's the right complexion, and he will bring a foreign viewership to the finals, bro. You think about it. When he steps on the floor and he plays in that finals, most of us are going to watch. You're right. Maybe some people are going to tune out, but realistically, they're going to pick up viewerships they didn't have before. Just him being out there, bro.
Yeah.
And I think from that perspective, they might not say it, but I think quietly, if you gave them opportunity, I mean, to put LeBron out there, realistically, we've seen that show before. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I mean, if you had to pick and choose, we've seen that show. We've seen it with Boston. There's no one, in my opinion, is going to move the foreign needle. I'm talking about America, the foreign needle more than Djokovic. And he deserves to move the needle. He's good. Very good.
All right, there are 3 stories. I'm going to let you guys choose what stories you want to talk about. 3 stories. Of course, Doc Rivers gets fired a couple of days right after he loses another Game 7. San Antonio gets the #1 pick. Pop, we back, baby. We back. And Ja Morant. So I'm going to kick it to Ice. Which stories you want to grab onto with the NBA?
I'm not going to touch that Spurs thing because you know what? Like I said, y'all crowning folks for they even touched the floor. So y'all can have that one. I need to see that. And I still think he's too slow. That's for another day for me. But I'm going to go with the Doc Rivers situation. The writing was on the wall for me, just because of the fact that they've been waiting. They done made all these trades. They done made all these moves. Harden, and they got Harden back. And then Doc just couldn't flip the switch. I mean, one thing I did find ironic about this too is, and I'm not saying it's the same, but I still got to think about it and wonder. We hear about the Philadelphia fans, how they want more, and they boo everybody. They boo Santa Claus and everything. And you booed to hell and ran Simmons out damn Philadelphia. James Harden don't show up. Game 6, Game 7, none of them games. Ain't nobody said nothing. Nothing. So, I mean, I get it. And I know it's not Simmons, but this is a dude that you was like, oh, man, we're going to do this and that. That dude did not show up. And I ain't heard nobody in Philadelphia say nothing about James Harden. I heard Stephen A. because he's looking for ratings going off and stuff like that too. But for the most part, when it comes to like James Harden, I heard nobody saying anything. In fact, it's so deep, we get into this later, that James Harden has him over a barrel. And I get out the way after this. He has him over a barrel because he can opt out of his contract, right, for the summer and become a free agent. He has the player's option to re-sign. And he can, but he's not going to do that. He's going to opt out, and then he's going for a max contract, which means the minimum he's going to have to get 3 years. And Philadelphia is over a barrel because Philadelphia, in order to replace him, is going to have to break up their squad, what they have with those young guys right now. So you're going to have to give James Harden his 3 years. And the dude is be 34. He's going to be 37, 38. And if he's not playing now, what are you going to do? What you going to do then? So Philadelphia, what are you going to do? So he's going to probably go to Philadelphia and get that money, stay with them. But I don't know, man. I'm just saying, nobody said a beep about James Harden's struggles in Philadelphia. It's like, well, we'll just come back next year. And then it's like, well, did you like Doc? Me and Doc, we was okay. The hell?
The kiss of death right there.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Black, between the 3 stories, man. You got the floor, bro.
Well, I'm definitely not touching San Antonio until Popovich leaves, to be honest with you. There's no need to talk about the league. If Pop retired, go upstairs. They can bring back Olajuwon. I don't even care. There's no need to talk about Philadelphia. I mean, Ice put it out there, but we know the 2 cats that, Doc is Doc. We know who Doc is. We knew when he took the job, he wasn't going to get much done. So he played out what we thought. I will go with the Morant thing. I will go with that because, to me, I remember before he got suspended, before the gun thing happened, we talked about it here. And I said then, I don't know what the NBA is waiting on. I said, I don't know what you're waiting on. I'm looking around like, what are you waiting on? What are you sitting back and allowing these things? Even when, to me, I think it was the Pacers that said that they saw the red light. Are you serious? Bruh, You didn't have one player said that. You had assistant coaches. Everybody basically told you, and you talked about you couldn't confirm. So what you couldn't confirm it, but you took one of his main guys that you can't come to the arena no more, huh? So to me, right then and there, they showed they wanted to play, nice with him. So when it happened with the first gun incident, they played nice again, and here we go. So I'm looking like, what are you going to do? Because I saw Walter Hawkins talk about this for ESPN. I saw in the video, he was saying that the other owners are going to the commission and say, you got to handle this because we're going to start to lose money. There you go, bro. We're going to start to lose money. And that's what you don't want as a league. I mean, so for the most part, I know they basically said the team that he's playing for, Memphis, said we're going to suspend him, but the NBA is like, we want to make sure it was a gun is in. Are you nuts? You want to make sure. But just think about that statement for a second. You want to basically investigate to make sure it wasn't a play gun. I'm sorry. That speaks volumes to me, bro. But that's where they are. I like Silverman, bro. The first day, let's say that video popped out on Monday morning, he should have been suspended with a long-term suspension. Monday morning, you got cats in the NFL betting they out for the year, and they got to apply to come back in. This cat's rolling around with semi-automatic weapons, and you got to make sure it's a gun. So here we go, bro. Here we go, man. And I like Steven Jackson. This is, some people are saying this about race, bro. Knock that off. Let's knock that off. This ain't got nothing to do with black. I'm tired of black people always coming and trying to defend bullshit as a code of, we got to stand together as black people. This has nothing to do with being black. This young man is basically out of control. And another thing, don't give me he knows he needs therapy. Nah, this cat don't need therapy. No, therapy for what? What do you need therapy for? Therapy is not a take pill that it cures everything. Take away his earning, his way of making a living. Take it away. Allow him to go home and let him play gangster. Let him go do it. Serious. This is America, bro.
Yeah, me and Ice talked about this before we came on, and I remember Ice saying, this guy has to make a decision, and I'm like, he's already made his decision. He's already made the decision. I mean, it doesn't really make sense. I really wasn't going to speak on it too much, but he's made a decision that he wants to be a thug. So if that's the decision you're making, let him go be a thug. So I've heard that they're going to, possibly suspend him for half a season, 25 games, this, that, the other. But you hit the nail right on the head when the owner said, hey, if this continues, we're going to lose money. That's where it's going to hit, where Memphis has to make a decision. And, in my opinion, John Moran has made his decision on what he wants to do. That bullshit, 2 weeks vacation and a little therapy session, that was like a slap on the hand because they wanted him back for the playoffs.
There you go.
They wanted him back for the playoffs, for the ratings, for the money. Now you got a bigger issue at hand because this guy hasn't learned anything. He pretty much has the attitude, I got away with it before. I'll probably get away with it again because I am the show. They can't go on without me. The NBA is bigger than you, man. The NBA is bigger. Ice, you got anything on this?
Like you said, it's one I remember when Tupac and Biggie died, and they was asking Snoop Dogg, about what was going on. And he says, you can't play gangster. He walks around talking about, he does the Crip walk and everything, and he wear the blue and everything, but he's like, I ain't no gangster. Because gangsters don't care. Gangsters have no regard for anything, and for you to try to do that. And I understand being young and trying to be cool. But my thing is, though, with all this social media, everybody watching you, bruh. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, whatever, and I ain't saying you should, do it behind closed doors, bruh. There was a time when you was going to be stupid. Do it behind closed doors. I got a picture right now. I can't show you. Anyway, when it ain't out in the public, you just got to be smarter with that because there's a lot of money involved and he's worked too hard to get here. But it's like he just has no regard. It's like he don't even give a damn. And then they go back like Black Thorn say, well, we got to see if it's a real good. What? You don't care. If you don't care, I don't care. And I know that's a lot of money. I know they've invested a lot into it. And he's a hell of a player and whatnot. And I get all that. But at some point has to come and say, as a lady from First 48 said, "There come a time when a man got to be a man." And you just have to understand. You got to just understand that you got to make him step up and be accountable. And if he's not, then you got to look elsewhere. That whole team has been down. You think about Memphis from the standpoint of with him acting out, Brooks acting crazy. They don't even want Brooks back under any circumstances. Now your other young talent, Jaren Jackson Jr., is basically saying, "I don't want to be in this Bulls either." So you got to start from scratch almost, unless you can get it together. And right now, I don't see how that's possible. So I don't know. I think you have to let him know that you mean business. And that's not, and I know I understand about the money, but that's not 8 games. For real. You need to hit him in the pocket. And if he does play, I mean, I know the union and all that. I'm going to find a way to do something so it hurt him in his pocket, because when Dennis Rodman was clowning and nobody could handle him, and Pop was, "Oh my God, he's such a menace. He's the devil," and all this other stuff. Phil Jackson, like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. You know what? Ain't nothing coming like that too. So Phil just, even though I ain't saying I'm the biggest Phil proponent, Phil hit him in the wallet. Phil said, "You can go anywhere you want to. You can be crazy as you want to. Be here at practice, and while you wilding, go and drop that check off in the basket, bro. Put the lotion in the basket. Every time you come back, he put that check in the basket." Yeah. And then it was like, "I ain't got all that kind of money." And then, well, then it's okay when you need to act like you got some damn sense, at least during the season. And that's what he did. He didn't, he burned the sage, burned the incense, and told him to put the check in the basket. That's it. You want to hurt somebody? Take their money, bro. Take their money, because then mama, daddy, girlfriends, baby mamas, everybody coming out, nail salon people, your boys, everything, everybody start hurting. "Now you need to turn your life around, man, because you killing me right now, dog. You killing me. You know how it be. You killing me, dog. I can't even get much shit like I used to. I'm a girl, 2, 3 girls out there running crazy. We can't get the private jet no more because you are a clown who ain't got no money." You know how it is, bro. I'm just keeping it 100. Everybody start hurting, then he gonna start straightening up. And he's not hurting enough. Let him get a little cobra in his life, like I said. Wink, wink. Then he'll be all right. He'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they did a series. I think TNT did a series on a show on Dennis Rodman. Oh my God!
I need to watch that.
How that lady robbed him. I mean, oh my God! I mean, you out there partying and all that stuff. Somebody else spending your money, scamming you, and that's why he's in the condition he is today. Hopefully, he's in a better financial condition. But you have people who prey on that. You out there waving the gun, doing all this other stuff. Somebody else is in your accounts. And if you haven't watched the show, I can't remember the name of the show. I think Black, you were shaking your head. Did you see that show?
I refuse to watch it, man. It's on TNT. You're right. They're gonna do something about him, Hulk Hogan, a bunch of other idiots. I can't watch that, bro. I'm sorry.
I recommend watching the one on Dennis Rodman, because that one, I mean, it was a lady who was taking care of his finances.
Black or white?
I think it was black. I'm not sure if she was mixed or something like that, but her and her son did a job. They interviewed her son throughout the show. Her and her son did a job on Dennis Rodman, where he wasn't, child support wasn't being paid, his bills weren't being paid. He flying all to Korea and all this other stuff. He was supposed to play in a league over in Saudi Arabia, and then that fell through because some of the stuff that he was doing with Korea. And this woman took the initial check of $250,000 and just spent it. And he kind of told her, like, spend it like it's your money. If you ever need anything, and she took it to the hill.
What is he complaining about?
Wait.
Hey, hang on a second. Because I know, you're a conspiracy therapist, but you got a heart. You tell any woman to spend your money like it's yours, bro. You have no recourse. You have no recourse. Think about that for a second. What's the recourse?
Man,
it's worth the watch. It's worth the watch.
I'm going to watch Sesame Street.
I'm going to watch it because I want to see it, but it's like the weird, not the weird, it is the thing that a lot of these guys, that when they connect with people, and even the people that actually help them get the money, they're all in, they're all trusting. They want to deal with somebody else that could be a little bit more reputable. But, I remember when they talked about it too, where Keyshawn Johnson said, the people that help you make your money should not help you spend your money. Mm. And you talk about your first time agents, and they buy into it. T.O., I mean, my God, man, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, man,
she had a host of athletes. It wasn't just him.
I believe it, but it's like I don't know, man. And I remember I was telling you before when T.O. was crying about his money, and he had opportunity to opt out and become a free agent to make a lot more money, and he missed the deadline because his agent or somebody he didn't have to turn the paper in on time. And I was like, I'm not gonna say this easily. Ain't nobody gonna mess with my money. My mama, may she rest in peace, I ain't messing with my money. I ain't like, Mama, did you turn the paper in? I'm like, Mama, I'm gonna ask you 2 times. Hey, the deadline could be Christmas Eve. I'm gonna, hey, we having that paper in. You cannot let nobody mess with your paper, bro. I'm here trying to tell you. You can take my cousin, my Uncle Joe, he always handled the figures. Uncle Joe, you know what? Hey, where that damn paper at? Where is the paper so I can turn it? I'm not letting nobody mess with my money. I need to be accountable. Somebody going to tell me something. I need to report every month, every week, whatever. I need to see when the stock market going down. I need some clearance. I need somebody to tell me something.
Black, if you watch this show, I will come back and watch the NBA.
Nah, bro. You can watch a Little League Baseball for, because I'm not watching that show. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to throw a name out. I guarantee it's not broke. Marvin Hagler. Now, if you think about Marvin Hagler, the money he made compared to what boxers making now, what these celebrities, it was good money for them, but it's not compared to what we might look at now and say, okay, it was great. But I remember, again, I said this before, he was on David Letterman. I forgot who just fought.
I remember that.
Yeah, he won like $12 million. And David Letterman said to him, so how do you get that money? How do you get $12 million? See what it is? Pull up out to the break and said, no. He said, I got a man watching them, and I got a man watching him. I got another man watching him. And he said, I'm watching all of them. And that's what you do, boss. He's like, I'm watching every, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, who takes their earnings and just say, you know what? Yeah, just realistically, spin it like it's your own. Come on, bro.
Buy yourself a car. You get your mama a car. Get your uncle a car. He look like he been always wanting a Cadillac. Get him a Cadillac. What? Hell no.
All right, let's move on to NFL news. And I want to know from you two, I'll go with Black first, about the draft, because we didn't do a show for a couple of weeks. And I just felt like Philly got off like a fat rat in the draft. And there were some other teams that did really well. But I'm looking at pictures, Black, of the Carolina quarterback behind that big line. And it's like, this dude looked like a middle schooler compared to the line he has to throw over or in between. And we said a week before the draft that Carolina should get CJ Stroud. And for whatever reason, they decided not to pick that dude. They got the Alabama quarterback. This dude looked like I said, he looked like he playing pee-wee football. He's a pee-wee football player compared to that front line that's there to protect him. Your thoughts on the draft, man?
I think Philly basically, to be where they were last year, what they did in the draft is remarkable, bro. I think even outside the draft, getting Swift from Detroit Lions, good pickup, man. Very good pickup. Now you got a bruising running back. I heard somebody said when they got him, well, he doesn't get 1,000 yards. He don't need 1,000 yards. You put him in with that offensive line, with that quarterback. Come on, man. I mean, the way they're changing and molding that offense, you got to be kidding me. With that quarterback, I think Houston, Texas did a good job, man. Texas, I think they did. I think they got a good quarterback. They did some of their defense. I think he's changing that mindset, that culture. I think Carolina Panthers deserve everything that's going to come to them. Every single thing, man. Because if you thought to go get Frank Wright as your quarterback, your head coach, of all the people that you could have brought in, for some reason, these white owners looked at Frank Wright being the offensive coordinator with the Philadelphia Eagles when they beat the Patriots and thought he was something great as a head coach. If you looked at what he did at Indianapolis and you want to bring him into Carolina and pick this quarterback, we're going to stand back and watch that team go underwater, and I'm going to love every second of it, bro. Every second. So I don't care at this point what they do, what they say. I can't wait for the season to start for that only reason right there, because Frank Wright is not a head coach. Say it right here. He's not a head coach. He's not evaluated of talent. He's not, because if you were, you wouldn't have brought that quarterback from Philadelphia to Indianapolis and then got rid of him the following year. So yes, they have no idea what they're doing, no clue what they're doing. But yes, keep going white and see where it gets you. Good luck.
Icewater, what are some of the things that really kind of stood out after the draft?
I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans, and I'm glad that the head coach down there, like, we need to be about business and change this thing around. And everybody's talking about C.J. Stroud. I told y'all they was talking about he might go number 11, and the brothers just like, I just need a chance. And when they actually drafted him, he was crying, man, because he'd been through so much. He's like, I'm gonna give y'all everything that I got. And then they turn and come back around, come up and pick up Will Anderson from Alabama. It was like, we going offense and defense, and we got a wide receiver, we got a center. They filled almost every slot they had need for. They went and handled their business. And that shows me right then and there that they're not playing. For instance, the new head coach that was the defense coordinator at San Francisco is basically, and he played there too at Houston. He said, I didn't come down here to lose. I didn't come to lose. He played at Alabama. Went out and got him a defensive end from Alabama. He said, I didn't come down here to lose. I got a quarterback that sling that rock, wide receiver. I came here to win. I didn't come here to just, give me year 3. And like, no. And the other team that I thought did well, I like what Detroit did. But one team that I thought did real well, at least compared to what they've done in the past, is the Atlanta Falcons. They picked up Mr. Robinson, the running back from Texas, when a lot of people wanted him, and they started filling in some gaps. They needed a center. They needed a wide receiver. You got a young quarterback down there, and you also got another quarterback. So they have a lot of things moving in the right direction. You got a solid tight end as well down there. And I think that they made quality moves trying to make some things happen. I don't know if it's going to happen overnight, but I think it was quality after you got rid of the Matty Ice and all that. Now you're moving forward with that youth movement that they tried later in the season last year. And I think they're going to be okay because Robinson is the real deal. It may not happen tomorrow, but when you invest in quality athletes and talent that you know are going to deliver down the line, that's how you start winning ball games.
One of the things that made me laugh is that the Bears, I don't know what it is with the Bears. They wanted Jalen Carter, the defensive end. And how you fumble that pick. You go down and Philly jumped up and gets it. I don't get it. Then you pick an offensive tackle, which was the wrong offensive tackle. It's like they got nervous. I'm like, let's pick this guy. And they did make some picks, but how do you fumble draft after draft after draft? Because everybody here was talking about Jalen Carter. That's what they did. That's why they stripped the defense naked last year. They want some defensive guys. Here's a guy sitting there. You go down thinking he's going to be there, and Philly just like, nope, we'll take him. He was the best player on the draft right there. That's what teams do. They pick the best player in the draft when it's available, and the Bears fumble it again. They're supposed to pick an offensive tackle from Northwestern, and they get the offensive tackle, and he was sitting there, but it's like they got nervous, like, oh, we got to get somebody for the offense to protect Fields, and they get the wrong offensive tackle. Homegrown guy. Missed out on him. So it's like I don't know. It doesn't matter what administration comes in, what they do, changing coaches, GMs, they figure out a way to fumble the draft. And not to say that they didn't make some good picks, some receivers, some things they needed, but you needed. Jalen Carter was the guy, in my opinion, that you needed on that defense if you want to rebuild that defense. So here we go again. We're going to have Fields just running all over the field with no defense in Chicago. Black?
I will say this, though, man. I think the quarterback from Florida that went to the Colts, I think that was good. Yeah, I think that was a good pickup.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting a lot of talk coming out, but I think that's a very good pickup. If I'm not mistaken, I thought the quarterback from Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, I think he went with the Tennessee, the Titans, if I'm not mistaken. Herndon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. That's another good pickup, man. That's another good pickup. There was rumor that they wanted to trade the running back. You can't do that now with Tennessee. They wanted to trade him. I don't know what they plan on to get for him, but those two quarterbacks right there, I think is going to pay big dividends. Maybe not this year, But coming along, yeah, man. Indianapolis, basically, even the owner came out and said about the quarterback or the coach that they drafted, and he knows you got to have a quarterback and get out there, be mobile, move around. Yes. So if they start to build around his asset, his abilities, I think the coach gonna start to make some noise.
Ice, is Zeke going to Tampa Bay?
Man, I don't know. There's hell right now. It's so wide open, and my question is why though? What you got down there? You just gonna be you just trying to get a paycheck? I mean, I get that too, but with the moves that they made, I don't know. They didn't really do much in the to move forward in the off season. So you just go down there, just be a guy that's gonna get beat up. Well, anything is better than that last play, that 7-on-7 situation. Oh my God!
Yeah, you gotta get that out of his memory. They said they want to bring him in to back up the stud that they have there. After losing the guy from LSU. So
I mean, but if it's one of them things, you know how it is. If there's nothing, no one else's, no offers are on the table, then you just go down there and get that money because of the fact that you still want to keep your tenure in the league, and you also want to, you want to play, you want to be on the team. So you've been on decent teams for years, and now you're just gonna be mediocre, and you just become a job. You know how that is. The job's a job, no cobra, still making you money, and you get ready for Acapulco early. That's all.
They will be applying for a new head coach by the end of that season, man.
I believe that.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, I hate to say it, but come on, man. I mean, realistically, he's going to be looked upon, and I'm not saying it's true, but you had Tom Brady for 1 year, bro, and you couldn't even do anything with it. And that's how they're going to treat him when he leaves fired.
Yeah,
1 year, bro.
You might hear some rumblings out of Tampa Bay too, of Mike Evans trying to leave.
Yeah,
you can get down to get mad, get pissed off. Start slapping people.
Oh yeah, ain't no way you bringing that quarterback in and Mike Evans is going to be happy. It ain't happening, bro. Let's just get real. He's not gonna be happy. You thought what's his name pissed a fit when he had him? OBJ? Wait.
Hey, to the point where he gonna be like, you might have brought Jameson back here then. At least he got it right 50% of the time.
Judge cheating? The Yankees cheating? No, come on now. Say it ain't so. And the Oakland A's said they want a piece of Vegas too. And I know Al Davis' son is like, no, I got Vegas. Nobody else come here. But the Oakland A's are trying to reach an agreement to go to the Tropicana site in Vegas. And that's going to seat, I think, 30,000. So that sounds like a good deal for the Oakland A's because they need to get out of Oakland. And, there's some shifting happening in Major League Baseball all of a sudden.
Yeah, let's stay with that topic in Vegas because I was out there, and when they said the Tropicana, they've been struggling with that property for a while, trying to figure out what to do. And now it's right on the strip, which would be perfect. And they're just going to demolish everything and move forward with the stadium. I can see that happening. And Oakland is like, why not, man? I mean, the Raiders, yeah, you got Vegas. It's enough room. It's enough room. Because the way the Vegas is set up, they're further up the road, on Tropicana, and then the stadium be right there in the middle of everything. It'd probably be a damn parking nightmare though, with all that parking on the main strip. But actually, it would be kind of fun because you could just walk from the hotels and watch the games, which would be kind of cool. So I don't see why the A's wouldn't do that. And Judge, come on, man. Like you said, I tried to tell you, y'all went out to Houston. Be careful, because like I said, there's more cheating and more. Well, I won't say cheating. There's more underhanded things or more secrets than we know of. But because they hit the Yankees, that could never. Lie, never happened.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Is my motto. Cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, you would say that. It sounds like somebody too, or like this. Well, I didn't know you was really hungry. Anyway, so I had to ask you, did you want something to eat? I didn't know you was really hungry. You should have told me you was that hungry. You look pretty healthy to me. Anyway, went to the standings. Oh my God. American League East. Tampa Bay is in first place, 22-11, struggling down a little bit from what they were before. Baltimore is making a run in second place, y'all. In American League East, Toronto is in third place, and damn, is that Wait a minute. Is that the Yankees in fourth place? What?
For the time being.
Nah, you the one said the season over. Remember I
you
told
know
you
how we do.
Remember,
You know how we do.
Black Door, what I tell you? Remember I told you earlier in the season. Oh my God, the season's over. Oh my God. You in fourth place. The season's over, right? Turn the page. Boston, you only have a game up on Boston, game and a half up on Boston. Anyway, but you're right. Yeah, I know how y'all do. We'll see. Moving forward in the Central, Minnesota leads Cleveland by 3.5 games. And Detroit is right there too, only 3.5 back in that division in the Central. Also in the West, we have Texas is in first place. Ooh, I see you, Texas. Texas spent all that money down there, getting everybody right, serving a lot more popcorn and getting the hot tub ready. And they're up by 3 games actually on Houston. Houston still kind of hanging around a little bit. And you know how they do as well. The Angels, come on. Y'all need to make a run because I got a feeling you're 4.5 back, which is not really bad just early in the season. I have a feeling if you guys don't contend, Mr. Ohtani, probably the best damn player in baseball right now, is going to trot right over to them damn Dodgers. Excuse me, did I say the word hate? Them damn Dodgers, because they get everything like the Yankees, and the rich get richer, and it's what he's going to probably end up doing because he want to stay in sunny California. But right now, they're only 4.5 out. Moving up to the National League, the Atlanta Braves are in first place. Miami trails by 5 games. The Mets are 6.5 back. So is Philadelphia. And Washington is already packing and getting ready for the next inauguration, 2024. They're eight games back. Moving over to the Central in the National League. Milwaukee is in first place. Pittsburgh is 1.5 out. Chicago Cubs only 5 back. Cincinnati is still treading water in that division as well. St. Louis is 7.5 back. Trying to figure out what's going on there. And as we round this out, in the National League West, those great Dodgers are in first place. Oh, I'm so surprised. And Arizona's in second place, only 3 games out. San Diego's kind of falling back a little bit, 7.5 back. San Francisco, 7.5 back. Colorado Rockies are 9 back. It's still early, but as you watch these things happen, you're going to start to see, as we get close to the All-Star break, how teams start to move up and make some things happen and move faster. And I think you're also going to see a slew of trades before the deadlines because teams are no longer waiting to be bad. You might as well get it out the way now. If you're going to tank like they do in the NBA, in the NFL, you might as well get it out the way now and start preparing for that. Only thing I say to you guys, if you start tanking, do me a favor. Stop trading all your damn draft picks when you get them. Hold on to them. Quit calling, listen to the Yankees giving you calls and stealing people because you don't have enough common sense to keep what you earned when you gave away all that talent. Anyway, till next time, stay cool, keep everything together, and Black Thor, keep the wings coming, baby.
Black, before we go to questions for the squad, man, I know I wanted to hit this story. I know we're not in WNBA mode yet, but Becky. She kind of shot her foot in getting an NBA job with the comments about those boys over there because she's feeling herself in the WNBA. But she's suspended for 2 games for her comments. And also they forfeit some draft picks with the Las Vegas Aces. So any words on this, man?
Yeah, I remember when this happened, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Duressa Hamby, big fan of her, bro. Big fan. She was come off the bench, 6th player. Fine as hell, too. Let me just say that. I ain't gonna be ashamed to remember that. Fine as hell on top of it. But I remember when this happened earlier last year, when she got pregnant, how they treated her. They was mad because she got pregnant, and they felt like she hid her pregnancy to get a contract. And that's none of your business. Her being pregnant has nothing to do with it for the most part. And then at that point, you say some things to her, and then you ship her off. You literally trade her because you don't want to deal with the fact that, now, you think about this, man. This is 2022 when this happens. This is a women's league. We always talk about all the time how men treat women and all that other stuff. When you got women such as Becky Hammond and the Aces doing this to a woman, what does that say, bro? So I was surprised when you think about it. I was surprised because I remember it happened a few months ago, and the WNBA act like, I'm going to look at it. But under their second investigation, why take 2 investigations to find this out? The first one didn't uncover this. 2 investigations, bro, to uncover the fact. So after the second investigation, of course, she gave it a 2-game suspension. They gave it a draft pick. I think, too, on top of this, the team should have been fined. The team should have fined them, basically. Take some money out their pocket. basically them in the pocket because she's representing the organization. So to me, man, it kind of uncovers some things that goes on behind the scenes, bro. You know, when they hit the court, these ladies are serious about playing, but this is what they got to put up with, bro. This is what they got to put up with. So I'm glad that the NBA, the WNBA kind of stood up and said something and took some reaction here because that's ridiculous. That's a natural thing for a woman to do is have a baby, bro. Natural. This is not, what, 1940, 1920? 2022. And you're going to be mad at her for getting pregnant?
Wow. Yeah. Go with your question, man.
You know what I'm noticing, man? Not that I've got anything against it, man. These NBA teams are saying, guess what? If you didn't do well, you know, and get us to a championship, we're making some changes, coach, players, whatever. There's been talk about Golden State. I'm like, damn, they won it last year. They getting ready to do some uproars. And then you look at Monty Williams, you know, what happened with him. They was, what, in the finals 2 years ago? What is your outlook on how these NBA teams are basically saying, either you want me to finals or we're doing something totally different?
Ice?
Yeah, I mean, like you look at the Phoenix situation, you know, people were saying it was somebody else's fault. I think you had a brand new owner that came in, spent his money. He thought they were going to do something when they made the Kevin Durant deal. And truth be told, they basically mortgaged their future because Cameron Johnson and Mikal Bridges are balling in Brooklyn. May not happen tomorrow, but they are putting work in, and that was their future. And you went that and did that for Durant, and now you got a older Chris Paul. You got a center that doesn't seem like he wants to play. They had to do something immediately. And Monty Williams, I think the luck ran out because he was not the owner's guy. So they're going to try to do something else. It'd be something Puma earlier. It'd be interesting to see what they bring in. Philadelphia knew it was a wrap. You know, like I said, you had Doc Rivers there forever, and it never got any better. It never got any better. So the question is, what are you going to do now? If Milwaukee fires their coach after you won a title 2 years ago, it's like, man, who did he piss off? Something happened because you win a title. Some teams have never won titles before. You win a title after 2 years, they get rid of you. Where they do that at? And the Golden State thing, man, please. Who you gonna bring back? Mark Jackson? Y'all tripping. You ever lead them do? Long as Steph Curry is there, Steve Kerr gonna have a job. Steve Kerr gonna have a job because who else is gonna coach that man? And Mark Jackson, I know he got an interview, but come on, man, he ain't gonna change. He ain't gonna change. He gonna be having a Bible study and Wednesday devotion. I ain't mad at him. I got love for that. I love the Lord myself too. But certain things you can't bring to the damn job. You can't do it. And you can't be mad because of the fact that you feel some kind of way about somebody where they choose their sexuality. Some things you got to leave at the house, at the barbershop, at the church pew if you want a job, especially in these leagues, because they coming for you. That's all I'm going to say. I don't care what nobody else says. I ain't trying to go after nobody. I'm just speaking the truth. That's why he's still been staying at the daggone podium, giving interviews and talking about that. Same way with Van Gundy. Van Gundy went after the damn referees, running his mouth, chirping. And they're like, you ever want to work here? And he go, yeah, okay. NBA ain't playing, bro. They ain't playing like that. And then how you going to go after the man talking all that kind of stuff? And he the damn general manager of the job. I'm done.
Yeah. I think that trade really hurt Monty to his core because he knew how those two guys were probably going to be the heart and soul of that team and how valuable they were. And Phoenix just went for the brass ring. And it's a win now. Everything, and think about society, everything has to happen now. Kids have to have things now. Teams have to have things now. They don't want to wait. They don't want to build anything. They want it now. Championships, anything. It's a now kind of society where, you know, back in the day, it's like you had to work to get what you want. They don't want to work anymore. They want the star players. They want the flash and the dash, and they want it now. But I truly thought that the handwriting was on the wall with Monty because he even said it a couple of weeks ago, like, man, that trade hurt. That trade hurt with Brooks and Johnson. Those two are, and they went to Brooklyn. And I'm not going to say next year or the year after that, but if they stay together, those two are a tandem that is going to be hard to handle. And I thought Monty saw that and maybe couldn't convince the the Phoenix Suns that you need to invest in these younger players. I know we got KD. But these are the guys that are going to keep the franchise going. They didn't see that vision, but like I said, it's almost everything now. So they're making moves. Everybody wants the brass ring. There can only be one champion out of those 32 teams, but everybody wants it, and they keep making moves to get it, and they don't care what they do to get it. They'll mortgage off their future just to get it, to make more money. They know it makes more money when you're a champion. You make more money when you're a champion. And so you can maneuver, and it takes money to make money in the NBA. So they want that. And so it's in the NFL, it's in baseball. You see it everywhere in sports. It's not our daddy's league anymore, where teams built up and you can see them kind of saying, okay, I see where they're going. They want it now. Black.
I like it, man. I like it. I'm sorry, man. If you're not into win it, why you're in it. I'm gonna say this about Monty Williams. To me, the writing was on the wall last year when they signed Ayton to that contract.
That too.
Yeah. He wanted out, and he wanted Ayton out. And I don't even think the owner owned the team at that time. When they gave Ayton that contract, Monty Williams should have known it was basically him or you. There's going to be you at some point, bro, because they're standing behind him. At the end of the day, they pay him more money, so they're going to believe in, he's the talent. He's going to be here. You're not. And I think that's what it came down to. Granted, the trade did, basically took their foundation and it cut it. But you know what? You got to coach what you got there, bro. Like Bill Parcells says a while ago, you can't even pick the groceries. You just got to basically cook it. So your job is to cook. And that's the way with Ayton. Even though if you didn't like Ayton, you got to coach him up. You got to put him in a position to do better. And I think that kind of came back to bite him. Golden State, I'm not saying they're going to get rid of Kerr, but I think they're going to make some changes, with what they're doing. I'm like, just take a deep breath, y'all. Y'all won the championship a year ago. Take a deep breath. You'll be fine. I think Milwaukee just had to make a decision, but I don't think that team itself was kind of responding to their head coach. I think they kind of looked and real like, they're not really playing for him. And we got to bring somebody in and kind of, shake them up a little bit. And I think it was smart. But I will say this, though, and here's the reason why I like it, because if the Lakers have been as bad as they were, been throughout the whole season, to a point at half season trade deadline, and they can basically make some trades and become better, then what is your general manager doing? What are you doing, bro? Because my point is, if you're sitting around, look at the Washington, whatever they're calling this morning. I mean, at this point, Wizards, Bullets, whatever, they've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years, bro. And I don't know if he's a general manager now, but they have Ernie Grunfeld, I think, was their general manager. Remember years ago, he was the general manager of the New York Knicks? There you go, boss. There you go. It's the same old thing. Broken down players. Washington, where you at? All these other teams come up, they go past you, and they stay the same. So I love it. If you're going to take this job as a head coach, or you're going to be this job as a general manager, no, we want success. We want success. If you can't give it to us, we're going to get you out and get somebody else in. I love what I said about Mark Jackson. I'm not even going to touch it, man. They're going to bring him, make it look nice. I know it's your boy, man, but I love what he said, because I've been saying the same thing, man. They're not going to have quiet rehearsal, man, in the locker room. It's just not happening, man. You can see us there on television, there go that man, and, and I'm going to say this about what's today, man, Jeff Van Gundy, time to shut up, man. Every single game you complain, nobody's really paying you no attention. Let's talk about the game. If we ain't talk about the game, enough on the referees, the challenges. We know the challenges, sometimes they get it wrong. You should be a man realistically. I hate to kind of say this. You should be a man similar to what Tony Romo does in the NBA. With your coaching knowledge and experience, you should be teaching the game and showing us things we don't see. Kobe Brown does that a lot. You don't do it at all, Jeff. You just sit around and complain and whine like a little brat. Shut the up, bro. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired. I'm serious. I'm tired. I know you're going to be in the finals, but tired, man. Use your expertise to show the game in a different angle. That's what they should be paying you for. Because your little runt ass can't coach. We've seen that.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been the Knicks coach. He shouldn't have been the Knicks coach. He had no knowledge there, man.
Yes.
He should have been the Knicks coach. There's no knowledge there. Hubie's 89 and still, giving you all these tidbits. And, I didn't even know Hubie was 89 until a couple of days ago. Still doing it.
Yeah.
Gives you much more than Jeff Van Gundy. And I already told you how I felt about the Lakers, but I'm going to go with Ice. Your question, man.
I was going to say, the last picture I remember Jeff Van Gundy when he holding on to Patrick Ewing's leg.
That was Lonzo Mourning.
Lonzo Mourning.
I get confused. The same thing. I know he's holding to a big black man's leg. All right. So my question is, I guess they thought he was just gonna walk away quietly, but former coach Mike Anderson is suing St. John's for $45 million because they apparently were negotiating with Rick Pitino before they let Mr. Anderson go. Your thoughts?
Black.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something. It's just this is what it is in my opinion. I saw that when that happened. I started laughing, then I'll laugh now. Bro, you didn't get it done in St. John's. You didn't get it done. I'm not even gonna say Rick Pitino was going to get it done, but you didn't get it done. So what? They was negotiating with them. That's what happened. You don't think tampering doesn't go on? That's like having a girlfriend. You know, you're in a place and another girl walks in. What do you call that? Tampering? What do you call it? What's you gonna call it? I'm just saying, realistically, we know what goes on. When they're ready to move on, they don't wait till they fire you and try to find your replacement. Come on, man. They was trying to get Rick Pitino before he got somewhere else. So I look at it like this, man. You have several years at St. John's to turn that university around and make a name, another name for yourself. Guess what? You couldn't recruit the players. Your team just couldn't play up to what they should play with. They was going to fire you anyway, man. Try it. But I don't think that lawsuit's going to work. And if anything, it's going to hinder you from moving on and getting another job, man. Take what they owe you, what they owe you in money, get that, and keep it moving, bro. At the end of the day, you got to play the game somewhere. But guess what? You were at a Story University where you could have put your stamp on that son of a bitch, and you didn't. For whatever reason, you didn't. And that, to me, it's as clear as that. ABC.
Let it go, bro. Let it go. You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that. You just like Black said, I can't add too much to it. You didn't get it done, man. You're at one of the power teams in the Big East, and you had a chance to do it, and you just didn't do it for whatever reason. Let it go. 45 million? 45 million? Come on, man. Let it go. Let it go. And, I said it a few shows back that, Pitino's getting back in the Big East. And you should have saw the writing on the wall when teams were looking for him. Teams were looking for him. He was going back to the Big East. Hook or crook, he was going back to the Big East. But, yeah, let it go, man. You're not going to get this. And you're going to hinder yourself from getting another job in college based on you didn't really coach well at a storied university, and now you're trying to kick up dust where there is no dust to kick up. Ice?
Let me say this real quick, Ice, before it goes to Ice, if you don't mind me saying. Look what Hurley did in the Big East.
Yeah.
He came in after you. And look what he's done.
The UConn, yep.
Yes. Look what he's done. And he can walk away right now and go anywhere he wants. Yeah. And he came in after you.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yep. Ice?
Mike Anderson said, I'm country, but damn it, I ain't slow. Anyway, he's trying to get his $45 million. Trying to get to 45. I'm not sure if he's going to get, I don't think he's going to get to 45, but I will say if I'm him, make sure that you get what's owed to you. You got to get what's left on the contract. And I think it was like, 2-3 years left on it? I'm negotiating, trying to get as much of that as possible. I might put out 45, and I might only come up with half of that, but I'm going to need that money. I'm going to need to get that coin that way. But, yeah, and I think it was I knew he had to take the job because it was an opportunity, but I thought that it was the wrong fit. I really did, because he's more of a rah-rah kind of, in your face type of Nolan Richardson type of guy. And you do have to, I believe. If you win, it's one thing, but I think when you go to a place like New York City, you got to have the glitz and glamour, and you got to play that snake eyes type, hardcore New York type situation. And I get it because that's what's expected. But even if you win a lot of games, you got to have that flair. And they got exactly the guy that they're looking for in Rick Pitino. So if I'm him, I kind of walk away, try to get that money, much money as I can get. And, don't badmouth them or anything like that too, and go on and find out what you want to keep calling somewhere else. Somewhere down south, bro. Mm-hmm. Whatever. HBCUs are hurting right bad right now. You can pick your HBCU out right now, for real. But I know you ain't trying to do that because you coach on a higher level. But go on and pick you another job wherever you want to, bro, and go on and do what you got to do. But yeah, you're not gonna get anything else from continue to badmouth those people. Let's go on and get some arbitration or whatever you need to do and get your money.
So sometimes as a coach, whether it's football, basketball, you got to know the terrain. and you got to know where to recruit. Remember when Shaka went to Texas, he didn't know the terrain, even though he was able to get some players, but he goes right back to the terrain he knows, and Marquette does really well. So you got to know the terrain. So Pitino, you can say whatever you want. He knows the terrain up in New York. He knows how to recruit. He knows he has the relationships. He can do that. I don't feel like the previous coach had that. I don't feel like he knew the terrain. You know, going back to the South, around Arkansas, things of that sort, maybe people know you and maybe you can build relationships. But recruiting and all that, knowing terrain, it comes with coaching. And if you don't have the relationships and you don't know the terrain, you're just out of luck. You could be out of luck if you can't recruit people from outside that area as well as people in the area. That's why a lot of Chicago college teams don't do well, because they don't know the terrain. And those players from college, whether it's football, basketball, they go out of state. They go out of state. Why DePaul and Northwestern football and basketball and all these universities here don't thrive? Because the coaches that come here do not know the terrain. They don't build a relationship with the high schools, and those players just go out of state. Most of the best talent in Chicago goes out of state. Last second shot, Black.
You know, it's interesting, man. I was going to say something real quick about Mike Anderson. I think he was in the last part of his last year of his contract, guys. I don't think he had much money coming to him, bro. I think they kind of, if I remember correctly, I think it was basically all done. He was hoping to get a new contract, but that wasn't going to happen. I want to say this. I know we were talking about NFL earlier. This is my last second shot. Sometimes we ask for things and then we get may not be happening. Well, Aaron Rodgers, you asked for it, you got it, bro. You got 5 primetime games because you're in New York. Man, all I got to say to you, like Al Davis said, you better win, baby. Just win. Because if you lose with no primetime games, man, it's not going to be pretty. I saw that. The Jets, 5 primetime games for the Jets. Are you nuts? Just win, baby. Just win, or you're going to be crying. Win now or cry later. Your choice.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot going on. But my last second shot is going to be focused on college football. I tell you what, I'm excited for the players to be able to move like they want to and get the NILs and all that other stuff. But man, y'all got to put a cap on this damn transfer portal, bro, because dudes is staying for 15 minutes, leaving, doing all kind of stuff, showing up, getting that extra COVID year. I'm confused. I mean, what? It's so much moving. It's crazy. I'm happy for the players, but I think there's going to be one hell of an exciting year because everybody is stocked up. And for those teams and those folks that looking for the little smaller schools to kind of rise up, Notre Dame. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But it's going to be hell to pay because teams are stacking up. They are stacking up. They're reloading. And I'm telling you what, now watching the Big Ten growing with UCLA and USC coming in there and the SEC growing too. In about less than 5 years, it's going to be about only 4 super conferences. And Notre Dame going to be looking for a place to go. And you know you don't want to know with the Big Ten where you be the 8th best team on the football thing. You better go to the ACC. All I'm saying is it start to heat up. NCAA may not be as important or vital anymore. Schools start running their own businesses. It's getting next year. I cannot wait for college football because I think it's going to be hot and heavy and heated. And with this NIL, you know, every week you're going to just check and see, oh, man, I had a bad game. I had to come back stronger. Dude, it's madness. I'm sitting there going like, woo, I need a schedule right now because I'm looking forward just to watching college football again.
I wonder how Alabama's going to fare with all this stuff. I really do. Like those power teams like Clemson, Alabama, how they're going to fare with this.
Hey, and they got a new hit. They got a new quarterback.
Yeah.
Woo, buddy.
All right, NBA. You know, it's well documented. Don't want to watch it. I'm going to try. But can you do one thing for me? I know you can't change it all of a sudden because it would send a whirlwind in the NBA world. But can you just call traveling? Just be consistent calling traveling. That would make me watch. When LeBron does his little dance like P. Diddy in the lane, just call it. Just call it. Call it. Call it. I know it slows the game up. You can't call everything. Don't swallow the whistle in traveling, please. Because when you go out and play, you know, pick up ball, folks are doing the same thing that they see in the pros. And when you call it, they're like, oh, no, that's not traveling. That's the Euro step. Call traveling. For the love of God, just call traveling. We'll see you next week.